The moonlight shone on her puzzled face. Although she learned that Leon's master had left home, this behavior left her somewhat puzzled. Anyway, Leon's master must have some reason for him to leave his original place of residence. She looked out the window at the moonlight and fell into contemplation. Why does Leon's master leave the empire? A few days later, it was already the weekend. The weather today is very sunny, and the sunlight shines on the silver dragon castle, as if it has draped a golden scarf over the castle. Under the influence of good weather, Noah smoothly returned to Silver Dragon Castle from school. However, at this moment, a cry of surprise came from the Silver Dragon Castle. What? Family sports meet? Leon and Roswitha sat on the sofa watching Noah. They all raised their eyebrows and slightly opened their mouths, saying this sentence in unison. They seemed a bit surprised by the news Noah said. Noah nodded. She stood in front of Leon and Roswitha, calmly repeating what she had just said. The academy will hold a family sports meet next week. Roswitha lifted her head to look at the ceiling and held her chin with one hand. She remembered the scene when she participated in the sports meet before. Family sports meet. I also participated in the sports meet when I was studying at St. Hiss Academy, but parents were not required to attend at that time. Noah looked at Roswitha and continued to supplement what she had just said. It is said to be a new attempt. Sitting next to Noah, Muin was enjoying snacks with relish. Upon hearing that Roswitha had also participated in sports meet before, she was very curious. She was eating snacks while looking at Roswitha with bright eyes and asking her, what was Mom's ranking at the sports meet back then? Recalling the achievements she had made at the sports meet in the past, Roswitha secretly rejoiced in her heart. She slightly bent down to make it easier for her to talk to Noah and Muin. She showed them a proud smile. She covered her face with one hand and extended her index finger with the other, happily speaking to them. Of course, first place. Muin was surprised by the ranking of Roswitha. She said excitedly, "Wow, Mom is amazing." Then, Muin turned his head to look at Leon and asked about his ranking at the sports meeting. How about Dad? Upon hearing Muin's words, Leon didn't react much. He crossed his hands in front of his chest and calmly answered Muin's question. I don't have a ranking." Muin felt a bit puzzled. After all, Leon was so powerful. There shouldn't be a situation where he didn't have a ranking. She asked him, "Why?" Recalling his previous achievements at the sports meet, Leon closed his eyes and showed a smug expression. "Because my total score is always much higher than the second place in each competition. The academy suspects me of cheating and do not include my grades in the public ranking." Muin still didn't quite understand what Leon was saying. She asked innocently, "Did Dad cheat?" At this point, Leon did not directly answer Muin's question. He walked up to Muin and gently flicked her forehead with his hand. Muin doesn't know why Leon did this. She gently fell backwards and shouted softly, "Ah!" Leon frowned slightly and was a little angry at what Muin said. Flicking her forehead was a small punishment from him towards her. He put his hands on his waist and explained to her, "Of course not. Later, the Academy secretly sends me a medal, and I take it to melt it into a gold bracelet to give to your grandmother." Muin closed her eyes and covered her slightly painful forehead. She felt a bit innocent. After listening to Leon's explanation, she nodded and understood what happened to Leon at the sports meeting. Roswitha was a bit surprised by Leon's behavior. After all, she knew he was someone who cared a lot about ranking. She looked at him and said to him, "Don't you always value honors and championships? Did you actually melt the medal?" Leon closed his eyes and shook his head. He opened his hands and made an unnecessary gesture. He doesn't care about the honor secretly given to him by the school. I don't want the glory that cannot be taken out openly. He wants to obtain official medals and rankings through regular competitions, rather than secretly receiving medals from the school. Roswitha turned her head to look at Noah and asked for her opinion on participating in the sports meet. "So, are you planning to sign up for this sports meet?" Noah lowered her head and pondered for a moment. Then, she said to Roswitha, "Well, this family sports meet is an entertainment competition. Grades are not counted towards regular course grades. But I also want to take first place." Noah lifted her head and looked ahead with a determined gaze. She hopes to show her abilities and achieve her best results at the sports meet, just like Leon and Roswitha. Noah gently clenched her hands into fists, indicating her strong determination to participate in the sports meet. Noah's personality and unwillingness to give up reminded Leon of something. Seeing her serious expression, he silently thought to himself, "Noah's persistence towards the top is much stronger than that of ordinary young dragons. She completely inherited the competitive traits of me and Roswitha." Leon turned his head and locked eyes with Roswitha. Even though Leon didn't say anything, Roswitha knew what he wanted to tell her. They nodded at each other, as if they had reached a consensus. Leon and Roswitha each placed one of their hands on Noah's shoulder and lightly patted it. They have already made the same decision. They spoke their opinions in unison. "Let's participate together." Noah slightly opened her mouth, feeling a bit surprised by their words. She didn't expect them to agree to join her in the sports meet. A little happy smile appeared on her face. Upon hearing the words of Leon and Roswitha, Muin felt very happy. She clenched her fists gently and looked at Noah with bright eyes. She said with excitement, "Noah, Muin also wants to participate." However, Noah did not directly agree to Muin. She seemed to feel a little torn. She lowered her head slightly and said with a hint of sadness, "This sport meet can only have a maximum of 3 people." Muin puffed up her cheeks and lowered her head, feeling a little disappointed. However, she still wants to contribute her own strength to the family sports meet. Noticing Muin's emotions, Leon walked over to her side. He reached out and touched her head, comforting her. Muin can be responsible for cheering and supporting. With Muin's encouragement, Dad, Mom and Noah will definitely achieve good grades. Upon hearing what Leon said to her, Muin regained her spirits. She clenched her fists happily and raised them to her head, saying to them, "Yeah, Muin will definitely work hard to cheer for Dad, Mom, and Noah." Leon stood behind Muin and raised his fist, expressing family's determination to win the sports meet. He encouraged them. "Working together, we can win the sports meet without any problem." Muin also raised her fist and shouted excitedly, "Yeah!" Although Noah felt a little shy about this action, she also raised her fists with them and whispered, "Yeah." Roswitha crossed her hands in front of her chest and stood behind them. Seeing their emotions so high, she slowly smiled.
Hi, Pineapple has a good news to tell you. My app Lullaby can now be downloaded on the App Store and Google Play. You can search for Lullaby Light Novel in the search bar to find the app. After downloading the app, you can read our exclusive novels and comics more easily on your mobile phone. If you are interested, you can download Lullaby from the App Store and Google Play.